The Simpsons is no stranger to controversy, but one of its longest shadows is cast by a character who hasn't said a single word in almost a decade. Apu Nahasapimapetalon. Once a staple of Springfield, Apu was more than just the quickie mart guy. He was the immigrant success story, the overachiever with 8 kids, and the voice behind one of the most quoted catchphrases in television history. Thank you, come again. But in 2025, we're still asking, where did he go? And why hasn't he come back? To understand his disappearance, we have to rewind to 2017. That year, comedian Hari Kondabolu released The Problem with Apu, a documentary that challenged viewers to re-examine the character through the lens of racial stereotyping. The issue wasn't just about Apu being Indian. It was about how he was Indian. Voiced by white actor Hank Azaria, Apu became a symbol of how mainstream media often reduced South Asians to cartoonish caricatures, accents exaggerated, customs simplified, humanity overlooked. The backlash was immediate and complex. Fans who had grown up with Apu felt torn between nostalgia and the growing discomfort of recognizing a harmful stereotype in a beloved character. For South Asians, especially children of immigrants, Apu wasn't just a cartoon. He was the name they were mocked with at school. He was the voice bullies copied. He was the stereotype they had to fight just to be seen as individuals. Inside the walls of the Simpsons writers' room, it wasn't business as usual anymore. Hank Azaria, Apu's voice for nearly 30 years, admitted the showrunners froze after watching the documentary. What started as a few questions about the character turned into a deep dive into the legacy of Hollywood's racial portrayals. And Azaria began to see what many had been pointing out for years, that Apu, though never malicious in intent, had become a source of harm. He didn't just stop voicing Apu. He publicly apologized, not just to fans, but to the entire South Asian community. In his words, the turning point was learning that the name, Apu, had, in some places, become a slur. A name used during hate crimes. A punchline for real violence. And so, Apu disappeared. Not with a farewell episode. Not with a dramatic send-off. He simply stopped talking. His last line aired in October 2017, in a Game of Thrones parody episode. Since then, silence. The silence itself says something. Instead of trying to fix Apu in a rush, to repackage him in a politically correct form or recast him and hope the problem goes away, the creators chose to pause. Maybe because they realized this wasn't just about Apu. It was about decades of media shaping how we see others, and how we see ourselves. Now, in 2025, some fans still ask if Apu will ever return. But maybe the real question is, should he? And if he does, who should he be? Apu's disappearance wasn't just a cancellation. It was a cultural reckoning. One that forced a giant like The Simpsons to look in the mirror. It made space for new voices, new characters, and hopefully, more authentic representation. And in a strange way, Apu's silence may have said more than all the catchphrases ever could. If you found this story thought-provoking, consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into pop culture's most fascinating shifts. There's a lot more beneath the surface, and we're just getting started.